If you will take your seats, please. Calling to order the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Golden Rain Foundation of Laguna Woods, California Nonprofit Mutual Benefit Corporation, and I hear music, so please, anyone who's entertaining us, please stop. Yeah, silence your cell phones. John, have a chair. Yes, please. We do. We all hear music.
I think that might be coming from TV6. If they can turn off the sound,
If you will take your seats, please. All right, very good. Calling to order. This is Tuesday, August the 5th. I don't know where the year is going. It's the open session. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the regular Golden Rain Foundation Board meeting in accordance with Civil Code 4930 and hereby noticed in accordance with Civil Code 4920. We do have a quorum present. A couple of people are online, as well as those present here. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Director Bada, if you will lead us. All rise.
Place your right hand on your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Well, we are being televised, we know that, from the music. And if there's any other media present, raise your hand. Sometimes we do have people from the globe. Like to ask for approval of the agenda as posted. Second? Okay.
We were going to add an item to discuss temperature settings in various rooms. Shall we add that to the agenda?
Oh, yes. Okay. Before we proceed with approving that motion, Egon, would you please add your...
Yeah, it's come up a number of times. We want to just briefly, just a oral discussion of temperature settings at various facilities and rooms within the village.
And where would you add that? Under new business?
Yes.
Okay. And you have moved that?
Item C.
Okay. Is there a second to that amendment? Okay. All those in favor of the amendment to discuss temperature settings in rooms? Any objections? Okay. And with that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended? All right. Okay, amended agenda is approved. Going through the prior meeting minutes, we have July 1st, July 17th, 2 sessions. And are there any changes or objections to approving those minutes as posted? Okay, all right. Minutes are approved then as posted. Report of the chair. My comments this morning are brief and are about good news instead of money, which I'm usually talking to you about. This morning I want to highlight something about the process that's going on in our community to improve our high-speed internet service. Ting, our contractor, and its subcontractors are constructing the connections in the ground and among the working elements. But soon each and every manor in the community will be connected for this improved utility. And this is a utility. It's like your water, your sewer, your electricity. Your internet is going to be a utility in your manor. And what's going to happen for individuals? Well, first of all, everybody will get notified when it's your turn to get connected. You'll be noticed 60 days ahead, 30 days ahead, 21 days out, 3 days out, and 1 day out. And it'll also be obvious that people are working in your area, in your cul-de-sac, to bring this to your manor. Now, you'll be contacted by email, by written notices hung on the door. Of course, there will be lots and lots of online notices on our website. But what do you have to do as an individual homeowner? First of all, you will get an appointment, and you have to keep that appointment. or change it to a time when you can be there. So keep that appointment. You got to unlock your door, let the people in. Okay? They are there authorized to do the work to install the utility in your manor. You need to clear a space near your existing router or modem. You have to make sure that their electrical outlet is available. Right now you're plugged in somewhere, so that's probably good enough. So make sure that that occurs. And you have to think about what you want to connect to the new Wi-Fi, whether it's a phone, tablet, smart home devices, and so on. And what will happen when the technician arrives to do your installation? They will assess and disconnect your old setup. You don't have to unplug anything. They will connect you to the new Ting service. You'll get a new network name and a password, and keep that somewhere that you will remember. And they will ensure that 2 wireless devices, as well as your cable TV, are working properly before they leave. So this should be a relatively fast, it should be very smooth. These people have done thousands of installations, and it should go very smoothly for you. So ask questions, be there, be on site when it happens, and know that help will be always available to you if you need it. And with that, we have a very special visitor today, and that is Chris Macon, the city manager of Laguna Woods. And Chris, would you like to come forward? Hello, and tell us what's new and exciting. Also, Annie is here.
Yes,
McCrary,
before
hi.
I get into it, I'll introduce, I have Mike Summers, our division chief from the Orange County Fire Authority, here with me today. And then, yes, Councilmember Cynthia Connors is here, Mayor Pro Tem Annie McCary, and then the big brass from OCFA, Assistant Chief Jim Ruane
Wonderful.
is here as well. So,
Thank you.
for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Macon. I'm the city manager of the city of Laguna Woods. I've had the pleasure of working for Laguna Woods for about 18 years, the last 12 of which as city manager. I appreciate the opportunity to come today. I understand it'll be a regular thing to provide you with some updates from the city. Today, Mike and I wanted to talk specifically, though, about the potential new fire station project at the City Center Park site. So we're going to focus on that. But once we get through that, if you have any other questions, happy to answer those as well. Next slide, please. So first I wanted to set the stage a little bit and make sure everybody understands that the Orange County Fire Authority provides fire services in Laguna Woods by virtue of the city of Laguna Woods being a signatory to the Joint Powers Authority Agreement with the Orange County Fire Authority. We are one of 24 members, that's 23 cities and the County of Orange. OCFA is a very large organization. They have 78 fire stations. They, obviously provide services in the majority of Orange County. It's a regional fire service, and so as Chief Summers talks a little bit today, it's important to note that when you have a call for service, the nearest available unit is responding to you. It's not necessarily driven solely by the location of a fire station, right? There are 23 city members plus the County of Orange that's a member of OCFA. You have access to a whole host of resources as a result of that large organization. And I would just also, I guess, mention that the city, in addition to being a signatory to the Joint Powers Agreement with OCFA, we also have a representative on the board of directors for the Orange County Fire Authority. So right now, our mayor, Sherry Horn, is the director on the OCFA board for us. Wanted to talk specifically about our potential plans to construct a new fire station on a portion of the City Center Park property. So the image on the screen here is if you're looking at City Center Park from Moulton Parkway. So this is to the right, you see the undeveloped parcels next to Clubhouse 7, and to the left, there's an access road that leads up to the El Toro Water District's big water reservoirs at the top of, kind of adjacent to this property, but roughly at the Moulton and El Toro intersection. And across the street, if I was turned 360 around, that would be the Clubhouse 2 Gate 12 area. So this property right now, which is operated as a public park by the city owns it in right. So we were deeded the land in 2002 from the previous owner of the property, which was Smith's Drugs. They're obviously no longer around, but there's kind of an interesting backstory, which if you go to the next slide. So this is an aerial image of where we're at right now. So kind of in the middle of the screen, you see the Ayers Hotel. And I think, Paul, if you click once more, it'll pop up the Ayers Hotel. So there's the Ayers Hotel. We are right now in the building to the left of it. And City Center Park is that squiggly line between the Ayers Hotel and Moulton Parkway. So back in the day, before the Ayers Hotel was constructed, before the shopping center was constructed, the Ayers Hotel site was to be a Smith's drugstore. At that time, click once more, Paul, the City Center Park property was going to be the access way for trucks to load and unload in the back of the grocery store. So when Town Center was developed, the Ayers Hotel took the place of the grocery store. Smith's Foods no longer had a need for this remnant piece of property, so they said, hey, we don't want it. City, do you want it? The city took it, which is how we find ourselves the owner of the property today. Next slide. So the City Council has conceptually approved using a portion of that City Center Park property to construct a new fire station. This would be the second fire station in Laguna Woods. It would be referred to as Station 12, and it would complement the existing fire station at Station 22 on Paseo de Valencia. The overall City Center Park property, it's under 0.6 acres, so it's not a very large site. Roughly 0.32 acres would be used for a fire station. That would be the portion closest to Moulton Parkway, so kind of the lower portion of the park, if you're familiar with it. And then the upper portion of the park, which is really kind of at grade with the Ayers Hotel, that would remain a public park. Without getting into the weeds on it, there's some state law that requires that a portion of the park be used, or a portion of the property be used as a public park through June 30th of 2031. So a smaller portion, about 0.24 acres, would remain a public park. A fire station would be built on the lower piece of it. That same state law, there's also a requirement that to use a portion of it for a fire station, we make a certain amount of reinvestment in the remnant park property. So anyway, it would be kind of a unique split of the land. And as conceptually approved, the city would retain ownership of the entire property. We would enter into a long-term lease with the Orange County Fire Authority for the use of the fire station. Slide. This exhibit shows, and it's a little bit hard on the screen, but there's like a cross-hatched area that red arrow is pointing to. It's more or less the greener part of the park down at the bottom. That is the fire station portion of it, so from the red arrow all the way to the street. And then the part at the top here, right where it butts up to the parking area, that would be the part that would remain a public park. So the majority of it would be a fire station, but the kind of wider part at the top of the park, that's what would remain a public park for public purposes. And again, you see on this image the Golden Rain Foundation property to the left that's undeveloped, and then the Water District and self-storage properties to the right, Moulton Parkway to the north, and the Ayers Hotel to the south. We wanted to have this conversation today because one of the things that the City Council asked us to do before coming back to them with a proposed lease agreement was to make contact with the adjacent property owners. In this case, the adjacent property owners are the El Toro Water District, the Golden Rain Foundation, and the Ayers Hotel. So we wanted to share a little bit about the need for the project and about the project itself. Slide. I'm going to turn it over now to Chief Summers to talk through some of the underlying needs for the fire station, and then I'll come back towards the end and talk a little bit about what our next steps are going to be.
Good morning, Board. My name is Mike Summers. I'm the Division Chief responsible for fire and EMS operations for the cities of Lake Forest, Laguna Hills, Laguna Woods, Aliso Viejo, Laguna de Gale, Emerald Bay, and unincorporated areas of Orange County. So slide 7 here, the Orange County Fire Authority retained city gate associates to perform the standard of response coverage. These standards of coverage included reviewing the adequacy of the existing deployment system of apparatus and personnel from current fire station locations, testing deployment scenarios to improve coverage, and analyzing the workload of our units. Our last standards of coverage was conducted by Citygate, covering the years of 2016 through 2018. This update uses data from 2019 through 2023. Citygate's evaluation provides recommendations to serve as a foundation for future fire service deployment planning. As this study and the 2019 standards of coverage identified, Fire Station 22 and its multiple units are still overworked hour over hour. This area has a high density of EMS and simultaneous incidents. To balance workload and increase the 5-minute travel time coverage west of Fire Station 22, OCFA is working collaboratively with the City of Laguna Woods to add Station 12. So if you look at the graph under service demand, the following table illustrates service demand for Fire Station 22 for the last 5 years, from 2019 through 2023. Station 22 had 44,874 calls for service during this time period. Per the service demand data, Fire Station 22 is the most active of OCFA's 78 fire stations. So in comparison, the next most active fire station is Fire Station 75, located in the city of Santa Ana. They had a total of 22,164 calls for service reported during the same time period. So here in Laguna Woods, we're double that. Yes. So then the next graph, simultaneous incidents. So a simultaneous call is 2 or more concurrent calls occurring within a fire station's response area. The following table illustrates the occurrences of simultaneous incidents within a single station area by year. Again, Fire Station 22 had 18,345 simultaneous incidents from 2019 through 2023. The next most active stations, Fire Station 75, again in the city of Santa Ana, which had 4,761 simultaneous incidents during that same time period. So the following table summarizes the 2023 response activity percentage for Fire Station 22. The percentage listed is the percentage likelihood of Fire Station 22 being involved in an incident at any given hour. The high for Fire Station 22 occurred between 1 and 2 p.m., with a 78.37% chance of an incident occurring within that time frame. The low was between midnight and 1 a.m., with a 30.51% chance of an incident occurring within that time frame. So out of the top 10 busiest fire stations, no other station exceeded 39% at any given time. Again, Station 22, 78.37% on the high end, and at the low, 30.51%. Next slide. To treat pre-hospital medical emergencies and control small fires, the first 2 units should arrive within 8 minutes and 30 seconds, 90% of the time from the receipt of the 911 call at fire dispatch. This equates to a 90-second dispatch time, a 20-minute or 2-minute company turnout time, and a 5-minute travel time. The highlighted green area shows the 5-minute travel time from Fire Station 22. Based on the 5-minute travel time metric, it takes more than 5 minutes to reach the western portion of Laguna Woods Village from Station 22. So the existing green area is all which Fire Station 22 can reach within a 5-minute travel time, and you can see the portions of the west side of Laguna Woods Village uncovered within that 5-minute response time. Next slide. The addition of Fire Station 12 at El Toro and Moulton at the City Center Park property will ensure the OCFA can reach all areas of Laguna Woods and Laguna Woods Village within the 5 minutes or less travel time. Next slide. All right, so key operational details. To balance workload and increase the 5-minute travel time coverage west of Station 22, the OCFA has worked collaboratively with the City of Laguna Woods on identifying a strategic location for Fire Station 12 at City Center Park. Fire Station 12 will house Paramedic Engine 12, which will be a 4-person company. This was already placed into service on July 1 of 2025 and is temporarily housed at Fire Station 19 in the city of Lake Forest. Moulton Parkway will be modified to allow Engine 12 to make left turns northbound out of Fire Station 12. And then the traffic signals at El Toro Roads and gates 12 and 16 would turn red prior to Engine 12 making left turns out of Fire Station 12. There would be no significant increase in siren usage is expected as Fire Station 22 22 units already travel northbound on Moulton Parkway. And then there would be no siren testing would occur at Fire Station 12.
Right, and then just a couple of quick notes on next steps. So we're anticipating that sometime this fall, the City Council will consider approving a lease agreement. As I mentioned, a long-term ground lease with the Orange County Fire Authority. That would set in motion the Fire Authority's process to finalize design and ultimately construct a fire station in that location. And then separately, because we're required under state law to make a certain amount of reinvestment in the City Center Park property, we're anticipating finalizing that design and going out to bid for that construction project this fall as well, with, in a perfect world, construction beginning prior to January 1st. If you're interested in following this project as it unfolds, we do have a mailing list specifically for the fire station project. If you go to our website and click on the blue button that's shown there on the screen that says sign up for email notifications, you'll find an option for the fire station project. It'll just ask for your email address, and then you'll be added to that distribution list as well. Next slide. Mike and I are both available for any questions you have today on the fire station or really anything else. But thank you for your time. We appreciate you hearing us out.
Board, questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
If I may, can you scroll back to the initial or the early part of the presentation? I couldn't figure out where the ingress and egress of that fire department would be.
If you want to go to the one that has like the aerial image with the crosshatch on it. So the fire station would be the lower portion, which is in this image, the upper portion of the photo. So we would modify Moulton Parkway so that there's a driveway at the base of the park onto Moulton Parkway. The fire station would exit directly onto Moulton Parkway. We would modify that median so that there's an opening in it to allow them to turn left if they needed to. Otherwise, they would turn right onto the southbound lanes of Moulton Parkway.
And that's how they would enter also?
Yes, so we actually have obtained an easement from the El Toro Water District to use their access road that runs parallel to the park property. So we would expect the fire engines to enter through the water district's driveway and then make a turn so that the engine was then facing Moulton Parkway.
Good, thank you.
Andy?
Hello, Chris. You know, the village has an access road to the employee parking lot behind the community center, and it runs all the way to what we call Gate 16, which is not really a gate, but it's got a light on Moulton. That's potentially an access for the public, a very easy access where they don't have to conflict with the fire trucks. Has any thought been given to working out some arrangement to make that access road acceptable, to allow the public to get in a different way? Additionally, that back access road with some redesign could provide a way around that intersection. I can't tell you, several times that intersection's been closed down because of an accident, and there's no other way around it. So all I'm suggesting is please look at the village access road that goes from Clubhouse 7 to the employee parking lot behind this building as a potential access to the public park, and also as a safety valve in case something happens.
Yeah, so the public park access is actually from this shopping center. So there'll be two ways of getting to it once the fire station is constructed. There'll be a sidewalk running from Moulton Parkway up to the park property. And then right now, the only parking for the park is actually in this shopping center. So if you go behind the Ayers Hotel, there's an entrance to the park from the parking lot. That will continue to be the case. So I appreciate the offer. We don't think it's necessary to have an additional access to the park at the moment. I will share that this project has been kicking around for years. Mike and I can talk to you about the decades that we've been involved in it. And for one reason or another, a lot of options were once on the table that got removed from the table. I think this is the best, most expedient path forward. It is admittedly going to result in kind of a quirky fire station. It's going to be a little bit different than a lot of what OCFA has, but it's going to be extremely effective, as you saw, for reducing that 5-minute travel time from the station to the actual call for service.
Take my word for it, that intersection is very heavily used. And I know when the fire trucks come through, it changes the lights. And a lot of trouble. If it's frequent, there's going to be a lot of traffic tie-ups there, and the lights are synced to some degree. Please consider, we have an access road from what we call Gate 16, to the back side of this center here, which could also be opened up to get to El Toro. It's a safety valve, and I hope you would consider that. Thank you.
Gary?
Hi, Chris. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I've been dealing with you and a number of your folks here recently.
I was going to say, nice to put a face to the name.
Yeah, that's why I did it. A couple of questions along that line. I noticed it said that you had to invest a little over $200,000 in that parcel. I don't know what your thoughts are. I know we're getting bugged to death about getting some more pickleball courts.
So we actually went through a process, I guess it was last year, where we did a couple of community meetings, solicited some input on what to do to the park. So we do actually have a plan for the park improvements. It doesn't include pickleball, so apologies.
It does?
No.
It does not.
Oh.
But we did hear from some of your residents, and actually some of your directors provided some interesting feedback. So it will continue to be a passive use park. There'll be a public art element added to it. It'll be substantially rehabbed from what it is. But yeah, no active recreation.
Ellen?
Good morning. How many trucks will you have? This looks like a small area to me, but how many trucks and how many firemen or paramedics?
This would
Okay.
be a single engine company, so four-person paramedic engine would be stationed out of Station 12.
4 paramedics or 4?
So our paramedic deployment model is 2 paramedics per unit.
Okay.
So we have a fire captain, apparatus engineer, and it would be 2 firefighter paramedics on this unit.
Okay.
Marie? Go ahead.
Hi. I have walked that beautiful trail many times, and I find it rather steep. And I know we will have to have the trucks coming out onto Moulton, so I'm sure you're not going to jack up the front of it to make it level. Does that mean it is anticipated that the back end of that property will be shoveled down to go? I mean, it's got to get level, right?
Yeah, so there'll be a significant amount of earthwork there. If you look at the...
I can't quite hear you, kid.
There'll be a significant amount of earthwork, you're correct. It won't be all the way to the back of the site, so the park property that remains a park will still be at or about the grade of the Ayers Hotel. At the end of the park site, we anticipate there will be a large retaining wall, and then the fire station will sit below.
So it'll go down in the back, removing a lot of dirt.
Right, so from
And then
Moulton to the end of the
level it
fire
out so
station.
that it's level with the front of the street.
Yes.
So there'll be kind of a cliff there.
I don't know if I would call it a cliff,
Yes,
but yes,
okay.
there would be, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
A question about the type of incidents that you receive. How does that sort out?
So throughout all of OCFA with our 78 fire stations, the majority of our incidents are medical related. So approximately 80 some odd percent.
80% are
80%.
medical related?
Correct.
Mhm. Okay. I guess it's good that they're not fires, but it's sad to hear that they're injuries or falls or whatever, yeah. Other questions for Chris and for Mike? Okay, well, thank you so much for coming, and I hope that we will do this.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Proceeding on, CEO report. Siobhan.
Thank you, President Bach. Just gotta get to the beginning of my microphone. Thank you. This morning, I'd like to share some key updates with you, and I'm going to begin with Community Center after hours access. For resident and staff safety, front and rear entry doors are now locked at 5 p.m. weekdays and 24 hours a day on weekends. This includes table tennis and elm room reservations. So on weekdays, the building is open until 9 p.m. On weekends, Saturday and Sunday, the building is open from noon to 5 p.m. To enter after hours, please bring your resident ID card. Access at the south, the front doors only. Tap or swipe your card using the black card reader unit. If the front desk is temporarily unattended, please wait briefly until staff returns to assist you. And again, this is being done for safety after hours. We've had some unfortunate encounters recently, and we just want to make sure everyone is safe. As you know, the 2025 Seal Coat and street paving projects are underway. I just want to take this moment to remind you of a project that's occurring right now in the Clubhouse 7 parking lot. It is underway. It started yesterday and it will run through Thursday. The parking lot is being seal coated in phases. The clubhouse, tennis, and bridge rooms will remain open throughout the project. The driving range is closed today, which is August 5th, and the main lounge is closed for another maintenance work this week, not having to do with the project. But we appreciate your patience as you navigate that work zone. We're pleased to announce the new resident portal launched yesterday. This is a major undertaking, part of the new village website and the ERP project. This represents a key step in VMS's commitment to delivering high-quality, resident-focused digital services. It is shaped by resident input and tailored to support the distinct needs of our community. It features a new mobile-friendly design and offers faster, more secure, and user-friendly ways to manage household tasks and stay connected all in one place. You can submit and track maintenance requests with real-time updates, view account balances and make secure payments online, verify vehicle registrations and emergency contact information, customize communication preferences, and including news subscriptions and resident directory opt-outs, gain quick access to community resources such as recreation calendars, board meetings, and maintenance schedules, and use convenient links to external tools for pack ticketing, golf tee times, guest registration, and facility reservations. So it's really neat. I hope everyone takes a look at it. We've already received some very positive feedback in the day that it's been live. For your information, trash enclosure signage is coming. The cities and mutuals are collaborating to install new signage identifying trash enclosures. The signage is funded by the City of Laguna Woods and will improve service efficiency by helping residents and waste haulers to easily identify enclosures. Right now, we go based on, the best directions anyone can give you, but this will help improve efficiency. As President Bach indicated, we want our residents to get ready for Ting installations. And so to that end, Ting Internet will be reaching out to residents regarding the first round of installations, which are scheduled for fall 2025. To ensure you receive all important updates, residents are encouraged to confirm your current email, address, telephone numbers with resident services, and that can be done via email at residentservices@bmsinc.org or by calling resident services. And also, please recognize alerts identifiable from Ting. You may receive emails from an address that is lagunawoods@ting.com, and your calls or texts from Ting will come with a 714 area code. Also, we are introducing the new Ting ambassadors. The ambassadors are residents who are peers who can answer questions, share updates, and provide feedback directly to the Ting team. The names are listed on the screen before you. They are John Cornell, Cheryl Fennick, Dennis Kelly, Gary Russell, David Weingartner, and Cindy Whitney. And again, they are your liaisons to the project should you have any questions. And you'll see them at upcoming events and community events. And we really appreciate their commitment to this project. The mutuals have adopted a new shrub replacement policy that is now in effect. This provides the framework for evaluating resident requests for shrub removal and replacement. It considers key principles such as environmental stewardship, fiscal responsibility, and visual cohesion. This new approach uses resources more efficiently, improves service quality and equity, and aligns with long-term maintenance planning. Residents may submit a shrub replacement request via the landscape request form, which is a fillable form available on the community website. Requests are reviewed and prioritized based on community standards and available funding. Shrubs are considered for replacement when they are diseased, dying, or damaged, overgrown and obstructive, or pose a safety hazard or are damaging infrastructure. And lastly, we want to remind residents to contact Laguna Beach Animal Services, who responds to village wildlife situations if residents incur a contact with a coyote or a coyote nuisance. You can do this by calling Animal Services at 949-497-0701 and press 0 to be connected. Or you may email coyotes@lagunabeachcity.net. As a reminder, VMS is not in charge of animal services, so we need you to direct your inquiries to Laguna Beach Animal Services. These reportings and sightings will help animal services track activity patterns and support an effective response and keep our community safer. And we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from the board for Siobhan, Marie?
And what would be an effective response?
The most important thing is to track where they are being seen in the community, and then
Do they kind of like capture them and put them someplace else?
no, they do not.
So what do they do?
The most important thing is that they encourage residents not to do certain activities that attract coyotes, such
Yeah.
as feeding your pets outdoors.
Yeah.
Remember to keep your animal on a very short leash, not an 8-foot.
I guess I'm looking for,
Leash and
do
so
they
forth.
come shoo them off or something? I mean, I know they
Well,
live here, they
you're-
lived here before we did. right?
Animal Services, again,
Yeah.
recommends that you have a noisemaker or a horn, something that may startle the coyote
Yeah.
should you encounter one.
Yeah.
So all we're
I'm-
doing,
I'm not talking about the residents with the dog, I'm talking about the animal control people. I was wondering if maybe they did something. I know they can't capture them, no, we can't shoot them. They lived here before I did, but, okay, thank you.
well, and this program is managed by the city, so.
Excuse me, I have some information in response to that.
Yes.
Cynthia Connors, Laguna Woods City Council. The city has a contract with a wildlife management firm. If residents report all of their contacts with the animals, with the coyotes, that information comes to the city, and when there are particular animals who are aggressive, the city can make this contract. The animals are euthanized. They can't be moved anywhere else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ellen?
How did we change the after-hours access? What was it before?
Anyone could enter the building until closing time at 9 PM just by walking through the door.
It was just open till 9?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
With
Every Saturday
someone-
and Sunday?
Yes, with someone sitting at the front
Yeah,
desk, obviously.
right.
Yes.
Okay, but now it closes at,
5 PM
Five.
on weekdays, and it's closed all day on weekends. However, you can access with your card.
yeah. So how long can you access with your card on weekends until?
During the business hours, which are noon to 5 PM,
Okay, nobody can access after 5 p.m.
except directors, of course.
Except
yes.
director, but I'm talking I'm talking
General,
table
yes.
tennis. They can access as well?
They can access during business hours, which is noon to 5 PM. on the
Noon to
weekends.
5 on
Yes.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Gary?
I wasn't going to ask anything, but that triggered me. I came in Saturday, but during regular hours. The system is smart enough that when I put my card there, it knows I'm a director?
Yes.
You have two different cards. You have a director card and a resident card.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Siobhan. Okay, at this point, we will do open forum for members, 3 minutes per speaker. Members only may address the Board of Directors regarding items not on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of this Board of Directors. Board reserves the right to limit the total amount of time allotted for the open forum to 30 minutes. A member may speak only once during forum Speakers may not give their time to other people, and no audio or video recording by attendees, no rude or threatening comments. And then there is Zoom link information and the call information as well. Do we have some speakers, Paul?
Yes, we have quite a few today. Our
Okay,
first
good.
speaker is Grace Stencil.
Good morning.
Good morning, President Bach, board members, staff, and fellow residents. My name is Grace Stencil. I'm the Disaster Preparedness Task Force Coordinator for Clubhouse 3. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today on an issue that affects us all, disaster preparedness. While GRF and management teams have their own emergency protocols, we need a plan that includes a committee consisting of a representative from the Security Department, GRF, Clubhouse Coordinator, a good neighbor captain, and a resident with knowledge in disaster preparedness. This committee will keep updated on the current disaster preparedness, shelter-in-place plans, as well as how neighbors can help neighbors. They can promote this information by using TV6, the Globe, and speaking to the various clubs. Currently, Disaster Preparedness Task Force is led by the Village Security Chief, Nunez. Security is spread thin and often disconnected from the daily rhythms of residents' lives. A committee that networks with the residents is vital. That is why I'm asking GRF to support and lead in the development of this type of a committee. Laguna Woods is filled with experienced, talented individuals, first responders, medical professionals, logistic experts, and they're all ready to help. We just need a framework to connect us. I respectfully ask GRF to approve the inclusion of this type of a disaster preparedness plan as a subcommittee and as an active part of the Disaster Preparedness Task Force, because in a real disaster, it's not the response team who will reach us first, it's our neighbors. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Grace, was this the handout that you left for us?
I did not leave you a handout.
Oh, okay. So,
That's a different resident, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll find out. Okay. All right, who would like to own up to this?
Our next speaker is Susan
One-
Singleton.
Paul?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Paul, my screen is come up with a login screen, so is that something that you can take care of?
I'm going to try to run the meeting. I'll get someone else to come down to help you with this.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, President Bach, the esteemed board members, staff, and fellow residents. I'm Susan Singleton. I'm on Grace's Team 3 at Clubhouse 3. I've gone through excellent training through her capable hands. I've also attended the district task force, the disaster task force committee meetings, and the committee meetings that are conducted by Chief Nunez to train and recruit new volunteers. There have been a few problems with that part, which is why I believe with Grace, we need a subcommittee to help take over that part of the job. And the other thing is because the emergency operation plan that exists right now is for the employees and not the residents. The residents really deserve to have their own plan. And the part I wanted to add was that to get the ball rolling, I've put together some objectives, activities, exercises, things to kind of highlight how our committee would go forth in obtaining the people, training them, and bringing them to this network. And hopefully we would be a vital link between the residents, the personnel, and the emergency response people in the public. So that is my piece, and I thank you again. Okay.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Joan Millman.
Good morning. You know who I am? I'm representing the History Center today and how it can help you as directors. We've presented the History Center and how it helps everybody know more about the village, but now it's your turn. I know many of you have visited the History Center and discovered its wonders, so let me ask you some questions that come up often for the History Center from you. How did we get there, where we are today? What is Laguna Woods? Well, let me try this. When the village was first formed, they ended up with 56 mutuals. 56. 19 of them were united, 37 were third, and each one had its own separate governance. All right, we've gone from there. So first thing we did was to hire an outside management company, PCM, and they took care of that part of our legal requirements. And they worked for many years until Associate joined PCM. And at that time, all kinds of red flags went up and we, hair on fire. So we decided, well, better do something about this. And so we, through several transitions, managed to put together what we now call VMS, Village Management Association.
Services.
Say it again.
Village Management
Thank you
Services.
so much. The reason I'm hesitant is my printer stopped working, so I'm ad-libbing. Another question was things like, so how do we manage that? How was that put together? That is in the Village Center, in the History Center. You can find out all these wonderful questions, and it can help us as we are today solve some of the problems that come up. They may not be the same problems, but basically, yes, they are. And they've gone, you'd be surprised that some of the things you're dealing with today, they dealt with not too long ago, and it's a good idea to check out how it was solved. I want to share with you where the History Center is, in case you don't know. It's right next to the library. And it's open weekdays from 11 to 1 or by appointment. And the phone number is 949-206-0150. Or you can go online and find out at www.lagunawoodshistory.org or info@lagunawoodshistory.org. So you can get a lot of information online as well as visiting there. But I encourage you to visit the History Center and ask your questions that you may not know that the History Center can answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan.
Next speaker is Georgiana Willis.
Morning. I'm here to address one of the things that is this music room. I was surprised to see that 7 of you had voted for this. I think it's supposed to be a music and drop-in room. I know you've been cutting expenses, yet I have problems with this. First of all, it looks like you're planning on spending $25,000 on soundproofing the room. A room that would rent for $8 for 2 hours. And then I understand you're also planning to build storage cabinets for their instruments. To me, this is very frustrating. I have no idea what our electrical costs are for 2 hours or what they would plug in or the cost of air conditioning, heat, whatever. All of our drop-in rooms do require a certain amount of maintenance, but this just seems to be a bit much to me. I'm also not comfortable with the potential of noise going down the hall when other people are trying to have a meeting. And I don't buy into, oh, the soundproofing will fix it. Yeah, spend our $25,000 to fix it. We've had enough projects done here that fail. They put in some kind of panels in the, I don't know if it's Clubhouse 1. They smelled or didn't stay stuck. We don't hold people accountable for things, ensuring their work and backing it up, probably because our contracts are not that good. So anyway, this just seems like fraught with all kinds of problems. Anyway, I don't see why we would be spending $25,000 on soundproofing, so we can just bring in $8 an hour for 2 hours. Again, I find this to be financially irresponsible on steroids, and say, let's stop giving away the family farm. Use it to rent it. It's a nice room, but we've got drop-in rooms all over the place, you know, like I said, from pickleball to billiards to table tennis to whatever. Let's stop this and start renting the stuff out, and at a decent price. We have expenses to pay. And I'm not trying to put down, I think you've made some good decisions too in cutting, so. Anyway, that's all I know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Juanita Skillman.
Good morning. I'm here, as many of you know, to talk about the library. The library, the village library, is one of our best facilities of GRF, and yet is one of the most unknown, believe it or not. I'm not sure that all of you have ever been in the library. Some of you I recognize, some of you I don't. Now, the library has no paid staff. It is run by over 70 volunteers. And just last month, those volunteers worked 764 hours to support 2,242 residents who came into the library. There were 3,046 items circulated through the front desk, and those are the ones that we count. Now, we also have paperbacks, thousands of them, and puzzles, over 1,000, that we do not circulate through our computer. So those are taken out on an honor system and brought back when they're finished. We also added 38 new residents to our computer base. We have a separate computer base, Apollo Bibliothèque, that's not connected to the mainframe here. People use their resident card as their library card, but they have to be put into our computer. So 34, 35 people a month, you can see it keeps building. It's just frustrating for those of us who work at the library when we're out and about and we hear people say, why are we paying for a library? There's a library down the street at City Hall. We don't need to have a library. Let's use that building for something else or something like that. Most of them have never been in our library. So I would like to encourage all of you as directors, if you have not, please come by the library, see what it's really about. And it's one of the best facilities that GRF has at the least amount of money. Thank you.
Very true.
Next speaker is John Beckett.
Good morning.
Morning.
As you know, I'm trying to resolve a dispute with GRF. The legislature encourages homeowners and HOAs to settle their disputes in alternative dispute resolution, commonly known as ADR. The Davis-Sterling Act offers us several forms of ADR, including arbitration and mediation. It also offers something entirely new. Quote, the form of ADR chosen, mediation, arbitration, may be either binding or non-binding with the voluntary consent of the parties. I'm offering to resolve our dispute in binding mediation. I got a letter from GRF's new lawyer, John Hanson. He recommended using a retired judge as our mediator. I agreed to use a retired judge. And I asked him, does GRF agree to binding mediation? I couldn't get an answer out of him. So last month I came here and I asked for your help. I'm pleased to report GRF's lawyer immediately sent me an email. Unfortunately, he didn't say yes, he didn't say no. He said, binding mediation is not an actual legal proceeding. I don't know where he got that opinion. I searched online for mediators who are retired judges. I found several of them on the Judicare website. That's Judicare. I've brought the names of 4 retired judges. I'm sure that one of them will be happy to conduct a binding mediation. But I still need to know, does GRF agree to binding mediation? Please ask Mr. Hanson to give me an answer as soon as possible. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Next speaker is Shirley Skirvin.
Good morning. I'm here for several reasons, but before I tell you what the reasons are, I want to compliment Monica and Christina, your receptionists out there, because they're wonderful. And that's a first impression when you come here. So anyway, I'm here to discuss what seems to be excessive charges for services I'm receiving. And also the second reason is to advise the board of the unprofessional, incompetent, and uncaring customer service I've received from the alterations department. It is my understanding that, and my domestic partner and I are being charged the standard $7,500 fee that is normally charged for the transfer of title for the sale of any property in Laguna Woods. I have been living in the unit for 12 years, and my partner has been living there for 6 years. We are in the process of buying my former business partner's 1/3 of the property from her. I currently own 2/3 of the property and have from the beginning. Once the sale is approved, we own the property in its entirety, and we plan to add my domestic partner to the title in place of the person that we are buying out. Given these circumstances, I hope you can see that this transition is not the typical sale and entirely a new buyer taking ownership of the property with previous owners moving out. Therefore, we are asking the board to consider prorating the $7,500 fee to something which we would consider more reasonable, such as 1/3 of the normal fee. And since we are purchasing only 1/3 of the value of the property, after all, it is my understanding that the fee for a simple quitclaim deed is usually a nominal fee. I was informed that the GRF board was the only body that could approve any exception to your normal policies. I thank you for your consideration for this matter. The other thing I just very quickly want to talk about your alterations department. I have had going through 7 months of nothing but problems, sending me back and forth to the building department. And I just want to say that the employees in this community could be more considerate of their customers, and many of whom require little or more assistance and direction than usual. And I mean, they have been very rude to me, and the department has been really incompetent. Thank you.
Shirley, what is your unit number, please?
593C.
Okay, United. Thank you for bringing this forward. Marie, Did you?
That is United?
That is United. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Duly noted.
All right, next speaker is Mr. Michael Landry.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Doing the entire thing about with the fire department that kept coming to mind. I've fallen and I can't get up. Just a bad joke. But my main reason today, my only reason today, is feeding wildlife. I've been to the United meeting and asked the same thing. We gripe about the fact that fruit trees bring rats. They don't. Feeding birds, seeds falling on the ground, rats going for that. That creates rat and a rat problem and a squirrel problem, which brings me to the other thing. Every day I walk the creek. Again, I'm in United, but you guys are the aegis. People feeding the squirrels. Folks, they're wildlife. And I keep asking, in the wintertime, are we going to knit booties for the ducks? They know how to eat. They know how to feed themselves. I love feeding the hummingbirds, but we're killing them because the stuff tends to rot in the feeder, and the poor little birds die from it. We don't need to feed wildlife. Can we please do something about it? And, the fatter the squirrels, the more coyotes we're going to have. Every now and then, one is lucky enough to eat one. I don't like squirrels, so please eat them. I know people eat squirrels. I don't think I want to. But there's got to be some way to stop these, excuse me, folks, neighbors, fools, from feeding the dang squirrels. So let's do something about it somehow. May we? Thank you.
Okay, next speaker is Diane Phelps.
Hey, Diane.
I feels like old home week. A lot of GRF directors, but I'm here to talk as president of the Village Community Fund, also known as VCF. So what is it? It's a 501c3 charitable nonprofit corporation, which means the donations to it are tax deductible to the extent allowed by law. Its mission is to provide support for programs, services, and facilities that enrich the lives of older adults in Laguna Woods. Years ago, there was an heir who tried to donate. He wanted to donate $250,000 to the village, and we had no charitable means for him to accept it. And so a group of us got together and set up this organization. So in the past years, we've worked with groups that have raised money for improvements to GRF facilities, including the Help the Herd Fund. So far, they've raised over $50,000 for GRF-owned horses, for supplies, and also improvements to the equestrian center. The Pickleball Club raised $25,000 for the lights for their courts. And currently, we're working with the Camera Club that's trying to raise over $20,000 to modernize the photography lab. The way we operate is that we're project-driven. A club or a group comes to us with a plan to raise funds, and we provide them with a way for donations to be tax deductible. We keep an accounting of all donations by project. We give out all money donated to projects. Our expenses are minimal, and so they are generally paid for by the members on our board. Our only fee that was passed on is the PayPal fee or credit card fee if we get charged that. So 2025, what's new? As you may have seen in the Globe, we're trying to expand, and we're trying to get the boards interested and to work with the governance boards. So we're offering our services to GRF, Third, United Towers, and even VMS. So how would it work? We're pretty flexible about it. We've thought of two different scenarios. One is to donate to a specific project that the board is working on. For example, you could set up a project to raise funds for upgrades to the music room that some people object to. Another is to just set up some general funds. For example, GRF could set up a fund for sports facilities or for clubhouses, and these would be ongoing funds that people could leave their house to, they could make donations to, and you could draw on it. Things that are important to remember is that you'll be in charge of the fundraising project. We won't get in your way. We won't try to manage you. We don't want to hold on to your donations. We can distribute the money to you as soon as we get it. We aren't opposed to having some of your board members on our board if that makes you feel more comfortable, or to have a liaison with our board. We're even willing to talk about you taking a leadership role in Village Community Fund. And lastly, just to be clear, we are not the Laguna Woods Foundation. Its mission is to help individuals. Our mission is different. The more money that is raised through VCF for GRF projects, then the less is needed for money for our monthly assessments. So it helps all residents, not just those in need. I've spoken with some of you, but I'd like the opportunity to talk with all of you about what we can do to help. And if you're interested, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Wait.
Marie, go ahead.
What is the proper name of your 501c3?
Village Community Fund.
Village Community Fund.
Yeah.
I would also like to encourage you, if you had not already planned to come to the next Activities Committee meeting and make that same presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Paul, anyone else?
All right, we have 2 emails. This one is from Pardis Brumon. Dear GRF board members, I hope this message finds you well. As a resident of Gate 3 in Laguna Woods Village, I am writing to respectfully submit a proposal for the development of a fully enclosed, secure, and wheelchair accessible dog park, specifically for small dogs under the weight of 25 pounds. The goal of this initiative is to enhance safety for pets and accessibility for residents with mobility challenges, while also encouraging responsible pet ownership and community engagement. This attached proposal outlines the key features, safety considerations, including protection from coyotes and potential benefits for the community. Benefits would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss this idea further with you or assist in any way should this project move forward. Thank you for thank you very much for your time, attention, and continued service to our community. Warm regards. Next one is from Chris Collins of the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village. A sense of community develops in different way, but the surest way is social interaction. For example, sharing experiences, making connections, discussing issues, solving problems. The disruption and isolation caused by the pandemic is slowly fading. Last year, using specially designated bequest funds, the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village initiated the Good Neighbor Project, which strengthened the sense of community. Given its success, the project is being continued and expanded this year. Getting to know our neighbors and working on community projects are some of the ways to create community. As part of this year's Good Neighbor Project, 10 Village Club proposals were selected from those submitted to receive seed money to implement activities that would help build community. The Buy High Club is participating without foundation funds. The 10 projects are all different audiences, activities, and purposes. To illustrate, one involves bread baking, one is targeted to game players, one is focused on golf to build community ties, one is a sing-along with ice cream, while one appeals to cat lovers, and another creates pet portraits. All the activities will take place this September to celebrate National Good Neighbor Day on September 28th. The hope is that everyone will find an activity or activities to suit them. Bring a friend, make a friend, let's be a community. Find the activity or activities that appeal to you and mark your calendars to join the following, which are listed in alphabetical order. Further details will be coming in the weeks ahead, but please feel free to contact the clubs involved for additional information. For more info about the foundation, please go to the foundationoflagunawoodsvillage.org, or you can contact the foundation at 949-268-2246 or foundationlwv@gmail.com about any of these Good Neighbor projects. Number one, African American Club will host an international game day on Tuesday, September 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Clubhouse 2 Ballroom. A wide variety of games will be offered, including Mahjong, Mexican Train, and Canasta, among others. Contact AAHC Laguna Woods at gmail.com. Number 2, Camera Club will be hosting a resident and pet photographic portraits with the 9 dates and 6 locations to be announced. Contact Camera Club at cameraclublwv.org. Number 3, Castle Music Social Club will be hosting a Friends and Neighbors Outdoor Music Festival and Picnic on September 20th from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in Cul-de-sac 45. Please contact BAMMARR@gmail.com. Number 4, that one's not listed. Number 5, Chinese American Club will hold the Senior Citizens Festival for club members at least 88 years of age on September 17th in Clubhouse 7 at 10 a.m. Contact pfygc88@gmail.com. Number 6, Community Bridge Builders will host a sing-along featuring old favorites with ice cream on Thursday, September 4th from 3 to 5 p.m. Contact LW Community Bridge Builders at gmail.com. Next one is the Fit Brain Club. We'll be holding a 90-plus trivia game day on Thursday, September 25th from 9 to 11:30 a.m. in Room 1 at Clubhouse 1. Contact fitbrainlw.com. Let's see. There's also the men's 9-hole, and there's also a cat club with no information. And number 9, it will be Springbox Club will host a baking workshop on Friday, September 19th at 11 a.m. in Clubhouse 3. Contact springboxlw@gmail.com. And the Buy High Club will be hosting a dinner program titled Superheroes in Our Lives on Tuesday, September 9th at 6:30 p.m. in Clubhouse 3, Dining Room 1. It will be a community building event. Contact dyoungdance@yahoo.com, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. At this time, are there responses to open forum speakers, either from past, Gary?
2. One, the ladies that were talking about disaster, are you familiar with the search programs that the fire departments run? Community emergency response teams. You might contact our captain here. I've been involved in these in both Carlsbad and over on Kauai. It's a national thing. They've got all kinds of training programs, ways to go through your neighborhood. They've got things for hauling people off. We wouldn't want to mess with that here, but a neighborhood thing where somebody can, if something happened, can go through. You know who your people are. It's a formalized program. Sure.
Quickly, please.
I'll be very quick. Sorry. Okay. I just want you to know that we deal directly under the Disaster Preparedness Task Force Board. We are pretty restricted on what we can do outside the community. It's kind of interesting to me that they have never enlightened us about this program. It would be very helpful for everyone. Thank
Martin?
you.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
thing about.
Ask Grace to stay there, please.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have questions.
Grace, I wish I had more of you. You are really a light on what the program needs, and I appreciate your work that
Thank
you
you,
do.
Ms.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
We need more of you and your team, okay? I want to see that, like when we do this shakedown or whatever in October, I want to see those radio operators in place and being able to test. If you know what I mean?
I know exactly. Well, I'm a radio operator.
Exactly.
So I totally.
Next Monday, we're supposed to be hitting those antennas to see what the heck is going on with them. That's the big thing. But yeah, we have to work within the guidelines of the EOP that the city and the county is putting forth with us, and that yeah, there is some bureaucracy unfortunately involved, but we got to cut through that tape.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. Any other? Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead, Ellen.
Okay, Martin, we have to create a resident network because that's not happening. The disaster preparedness is mostly about the city and and working with the village. So I think Grace's idea of creating something like that, like the boots on the ground, your neighbors, like we had a few years ago. I don't know if you remember that, where we had building captains, cul-de-sac captains, and she would not have any access to the clubhouse for the medical cabinet. So things have changed from then to now. And so is there some way where we could create a subcommittee or something where we could do the residents,
Yeah,
or
that
they
has
could
to,
do it?
that has
They
to
could
go
do it.
to committee level.
Yeah.
And we have to.
We have to do
Okay.
it within the disaster
Yes.
preparedness, but it's not happening. I mean.
Well,
I
this
think-
was just brought forth to us today.
I think she
But I
spoke
mean,
about it. Have you,
But
Grace?
Let's leave this
I'm
in the
sorry.
hands of the committee chair and co-chair to
Okay.
bring this together. And we thank you so much for bringing
Okay.
this up and writing this up. This is a very impressive piece, and we need to take this forward in our normal system to make it real. Thank you.
May I just ask a question about how the Disaster Preparedness Task Force Board is formed? I was given some information about someone who wanted to run for a board membership, and she had to fill out the forms, and you are required, according to what she told me, to also sign up for several different committees when you run for the board?
No, that's not correct. Committee appointments are made subsequent to a person joining the board and then expressing interest in specific things.
Oh,
And then
okay.
the president appoints them to committees.
So you're not required
No.
as a board member to participate in a committee?
Well, yes, one must participate in committees, but they do not have to be defined and identified.
Oh, I
And they will
see.
not be appointed at the time someone applies for a board position.
And the reason I'm questioning
Yes.
this is because with disaster preparedness, we have people on the board who have absolutely no idea what a radio is that we use. They have no idea that we even had, at one point, they didn't have a clue that we had a disaster plan in print. So that's why I'm concerned with board members who come up and make decisions who don't really have the knowledge for something as important as disaster preparedness.
You
And
have
that's-
identified some
that's my
very,
concern.
very critical things that we have to take into
Thank you.
consideration and organize.
I've been a federally certified communications engineer for 50 years. So
It's not
know-
Martin.
Yeah, and of course, I'm a radio operator and was the president of the Laguna Woods Amateur Radio Club for 2 years, so I'm somewhat familiar with the radio. You did receive the radio club's report on the radios, did you
Yes,
not? Yeah,
yes.
okay, good. It's an interesting report, yes?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar. I'm sorry, someone else?
Same topic. Miss, I'm sorry.
Grace,
Great.
Yes.
quickly, please.
I want to thank you personally for everything you're doing there, and I want to encourage you to go to the next meeting of that committee and make the same presentation.
I'm at every meeting of the disaster
Have
preparedness.
you made that
She's my regular.
presentation?
All right.
I'm sorry?
Have you made that presentation?
I have made several presentations, and I have to say it's fallen on deaf ears.
Make another one.
They have fallen on deaf ears, and that's a
Ma-
very
ma-
big
no,
concern.
Make
of
another
mine.
one. They're not falling on deaf ears at this meeting.
And I appreciate that. I want you to know, I do have a team of volunteers of 25 people, and we train several times a year at Clubhouse 3 for disasters. They are devoted, experienced, knowledgeable people who are just really involved in the community.
And these are residents of
These are
Laguna?
all volunteer residents, some of which have experience. We have medical teams.
We got a crew.
It's a perfect example. I'd be more than happy to deal with any other group that wants to be helped with this. We've been doing this for 4 years. I've been doing it for 5. My team has been together for 4 years. So
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Heroic. Thank you. Egon?
Just a couple of real quickies. Oh, not to you.
Okay.
To Michael Landry. Unfortunately, I don't think we can go out and arrest people because they're feeding animals and that. But maybe we can put some signage to remind people that that's about the best we can do.
Yeah.
But you certainly made some good points. And to John Beckett, we will certainly speak with Mr. Hanson. Thank you.
Okay. All right, now we can move on to consent calendar, please. All matters listed under consent calendar recommended for action by committee and will be enacted by the board in one motion in the event an item is removed from consent calendar by members of the board. Such item shall be the subject of further discussion and action by the board. We have two recommendations. The first is, of course, the usual. Consistent with the Finance Committee, we will have approval of the financials for the month of June 2025 by this vote ratifying such review to be confirmed in this month's board member open session meeting. And secondly, a motion to approve the updated committee assignments. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? Kush?
No, I would like to add myself to certain committees. Is that possible now?
At this point, can you bring it up in close, please, so that we can spend a little more time?
Sure.
Right now, we're looking at what has already been posted. So is there a motion to approve?
Move the motion.
You move the motion. Second, please, to, okay, Martin, second. All approved. Motion carries. Consent calendar is approved. We move on to
President Bach, may I suggest that we discuss committee appointments at the next agenda prep meeting? So any changes there we can make at the meeting itself rather than closed session.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that agreeable? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Unfinished business, non-posted, new business. 12A, we have a motion to approve a donation of $3,000 toward the care of Sebastian, the mini horse, for 1 year. And I believe Allison has a staff report on this matter.
Good morning, President
Good
Bach
morning.
and members of the board. Yes, for your consideration is to review and recommend board approval for a resolution to accept a donation of $3,000 for the Laguna Woods Village Equestrian Center to be used specifically for Sebastian, the mini horse's care. A resident would like to donate $3,000 to cover the costs for his care for a year. This generally, he has less cost than a normal size horse because he is smaller. He does not eat as much. He has minimal supplements and vaccines needed and reduced barefoot shoeing costs. This donation does meet the criteria listed in the GRF donation policy. Sebastian, the mini horse, was purchased by GRF in 2002 for $1. To provide the opportunity for wheelchair-bound residents and small children to engage at the facility. The donation will offset a full year of general costs, including board, feed, and farrier costs, which is estimated at $3,000, and emergency care would not be covered by this donation.
Okay.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the recommendation to.
Well, let's read the resolution,
Oh, we have to
please.
read it?
Yeah. Egan, would you, as secretary, read the resolution, please?
If we have questions, when do
We read the resolution
First,
after
yeah.
we discuss. Thank you.
Resolution 90-25-XX, donation of $3,000 towards the care of Sebastian the mini horse for 1 year. This agreement entered into the 5th day of August 2025 is by and between the Golden Rain Foundation, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, and Laguna Woods resident donor who offered to donate $3,000 for the Laguna Woods Village Equestrian Center to be used for the care of Sebastian the mini horse. Whereas GRF and the donor recognize the importance of community facilities and amenities, and whereas GRF and donor acknowledge the benefit of donations when they have a purpose consistent with GRF goals and are in the best interest of Laguna Woods Village, and whereas the donor offered to donate $3,000 for Laguna Woods Village Equestrian Center to be used for the care of Sebastian and mini horse, and whereas the Recreation and Special Events Department Director or Financial Services Director reviewed and affirms the proposed donation meets the criteria for acceptance contained in the GRF donation policy. A, meets a true need for the facility, not interfere with the intended use of the future of the facility, and not require the relocation of other equipment or infrastructure to accommodate the donation. Now therefore, be it resolved on August 5th, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the donation of $3,000 towards the care of Sebastian the Mini Horse for 1 year, and resolve further that the officers and the agents of this corporation are hereby authorized to carry out this resolution as written. I offer this resolution.
You move it. Second to the motion? Martin seconds. Okay, discussion.
Question.
Kush?
Is this $3,000 enough for the whole year, or is this going to be partial?
For this particular
Sebastian.
horse for the entire year.
It will be enough for him for the entire
Yes,
year?
the estimated cost would be free.
Okay. It's not that this is just a partial donation and then GRF will have to use some more money?
Correct. This is estimated to cover the whole year, again, except for any emergency medical costs.
Okay. Just to make sure that this is regular subsistence is enough for this horse. Okay.
Andy?
Hello, everyone. As treasurer, I'm
Pardon?
privy to some numbers, and you all are eventually, if you ask the right questions. No, this does not cover the cost of Sebastian. You know, we have 7 GRF-owned horses, and I commend the person or persons who did this. We need community support for our owned horses. So this is a great thing. It costs much more, believe me, than $3,000 a year to support a horse. That's just the way it is. These are magnificent animals, and they deserve your support. So I commend this person in this case, and I would hope others would step up and do likewise and contribute so that we can make sure that we have a decent life for these magnificent animals. Thank you.
Other comments, discussion? If not, we'll call the vote. Please vote on your screens.
Did it come through?
Okay. Everyone? Okay. Okay, in that case, do we need to?
Did it
Okay,
come
there
through?
we go, all right. All right, thank you. Okay.
Did it come through? How did Brad work? Brad is online?
Andy, do you want to give me your vote? Thumbs up. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and resolution passes. All right. Next, 12B, we have entertained a motion to approve Village Community Fund Project Application, GRF, 30 Mutual and United Mutual, the Unity Festival fundraising. And for that, we have a report from Allison.
Yes, thank you again. For your consideration is to recommend a resolution to approve the Village Community Fund project application for GRF, Third Mutual, and United Mutual to fundraise through events, sponsorship, donations, and other activities. As you're aware, the presidents of GRF, Third, and United are hosting the Unity Festival on September 2nd at Clubhouse 2. GRF and the Mutuals hope to create a long-lasting tradition of unifying the community through the development of sustainable events that generate sufficient revenue to cover the costs, and eventually raise funds to offset assessments through sponsorship and donations. Donations above and beyond the cost recovery will be split evenly among GRF and the Mutuals. In addition to the Unity Festival, GRF and the Mutuals seek continuous fundraising efforts aimed to lower the overall assessment fee for residents. These efforts may include, but are not limited to, sponsorship, donations, grants, and in-person and online methods for collecting funds. GRF and the Mutuals will work directly with BCF to accomplish their fundraising goals. And if approved, BCF will be on site at the Unity Festival event to collect donations to support the cost recovery of the event. Again, any donations more than cost recovery will be evenly distributed to GRF, Third, and United. It is estimated that approximately $20,000 will need to be raised through sponsorship and VCF donors, in addition to the sale of 500 food taste books to cover the Unity Festival costs. And also, we have Diane Phelps here if you have any specific questions about VCF, which is a wonderful organization that she spoke about earlier. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
I'd like to ask Diane some questions.
Well, let's read the resolution first, and then, or at least the summary of the resolution, again, if you,
Yeah.
the final, it therefore be resolved.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Whereas VCF, a California Public Benefit Corporation, nonprofit 501c3, formed December 2017, was organized by residents of Laguna Woods Village for the purpose of providing support for programs, services, and facilities that enrich the lives of older adults by supporting projects within Laguna Woods Village. However, this organization is not affiliated with any governing board or committee of the Golden Rain Foundation, United Mutual, Third Mutual, or Mutual 50. And whereas the boards of the Golden Rain Foundation, the Third Mutual, and United have approved a diverse and collaborative community unity festival event on Tuesday, September 30, from 4 to 7:30 p.m. at Clubhouse 2. And whereas GRF Third and United Mutuals will work directly with VCF to accomplish their fundraising goals, and whereas, if approved, VCF will be on site at the Unity Festival event to collect donations to support cost recovery of the event, with any donations in excess of the cost recovery to be used and distributed evenly between GRF, United Mutual, and Third Mutual. And additional funds raised will offset operational costs for the three entities, and whereas it is estimated that approximately $20,000 will be needed to raise through sponsorship and VCF donors, in addition to the sale of 500 food taste books to cover the 2025 Unity Festival cost events. Now, therefore, be it resolved on August 5th, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation are hereby adopts the Village Community Fund project application for GRF, Third Mutual, and United Mutual for the Unity Festival fundraising. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this, the purpose of this resolution. I move the resolution.
Is there a second? Kush seconds, all right. Discussion, questions? Martin?
Yeah, I just want to make a plug for this fund that we really put forth the effort to support what this is about. This is like a direct shot that whatever people have that they want to donate, I mean, it's going to go right to where it needs to be. And, you know, we complain a lot about budgets and that. Well, here we got an opportunity, and I just thank you, Diane, for your leadership in this. Appreciate it.
Ellen?
Okay, I'm a little confused by the paperwork. On the project application, it says 30,000. On the resolution, it says 20,000. So, and then one place it says 2 stages, another place it says 3 stages. What is the setup, Allison?
So yes, the event does continue to evolve, and as far as the stages, we are going to have 2 stages at the event with different, as we look at the venue and figure out how we're doing it, because it's a new event, some of those details have changed since the project application was submitted.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, your other questions were how much we're raising?
The dollar amount.
I think ultimately the goal is to keep the fundraising going so that we can continue to bring in money for the mutuals and GRF. To actually cover the cost of the event would be $20,000. Anything in addition, and the food ticket sales, anything in addition to that, $30,000 and beyond would be welcome.
How much has GRF paid upfront? Anything?
Overall, once we do the food trucks, the total expenses are estimated around just over $23,000.
We've already given that.
We are paying out for food trucks, yes. The ice cream, we have to pay a band, and some miscellaneous decor and other things, so.
Okay, and then GRF will be reimbursed before it is dispensed? Between the other mutuals, correct?
Correct.
So we'll
Cost
be paid
recovery
back.
first, yes.
Okay, and to state that this will lower assessments, that is pretty broad statement. And
It's
again,
it's not a broad statement, or it is?
It is, it should not be in there.
It should not be in there.
So
It's
again,
a-
the original goal of the presidents with discussion was to have an event that ultimately generated funds as a fundraiser for the mutuals and GRF. So that was the goal behind it. Yes, it's going to take some time to get it to be an event that's going to do that.
I will help understand this because this is when we decided that a few months ago. So first,
Go ahead,
my
Trish.
question.
Yeah, Marie's next.
Have we started to sell the tickets?
Yes, they went on sale on Friday. We've sold 58 tickets.
Okay. So if we do sell out of the 500 tickets, do we have plans to print more and sell more?
So we are, as staff, are looking at previous events we've had and the dynamic of the food trucks. Our goal is to keep it at 500 the first year so that we can manage the crowds and make sure that we don't have unhappy, hangry people that don't get to eat. But we may have the capability, based on how many we sell, to sell tickets the day of, based on what the food trucks can accommodate. We have to tell them how many people we have, so generally speaking, it'll probably stay around 500.
If it sells out early, before September 30th, we will have a month or something in advance. We are still in the first week of August, so we have 2 months virtually. Then we will have enough time for logistics to be able to inform the food trucks, pay them more money or whatever.
And we can meet with them and see what they can handle as well, because
Correct.
they know their business and how much food they can distribute.
True.
What we don't want is a bunch of long lines and people having to wait, because it will probably be warm that time of the year.
I'm just asking that if there is a possibility, we should consider that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the ultimate goal is more money in the box, is more money for everybody else. That is the goal.
Marie?
Okay.
Yes, in order for this to directly accomplish the fundraising goal, to lower the assessment, we would have had to vote to make this an ongoing annual event. Did we do that? Yes. Okay.
We'll see
I thought it
how
was just
year
for
number
this.
one goes. Yeah, that, the intent is, a long thinking.
Get it started.
Forward thinking.
Okay, all right, so-
Yes, but we'll see, this is the first time it's being tried. It has very broad support throughout the whole community, all the mutuals and us. So, it's up to
and
us
so-
to make it a success, too.
And so will these funds go only for this event every year? It's not being started for all other kinds of things. Is that correct?
Well, it'll be an annual,
Yeah, but I mean,
it'll come
like
up
then we won't
annually.
have 2 or 3 of them calling it something else, and this money going for something else that we do. This
My
is
crystal
only-
ball is not working today, Marie. I cannot
Only
forecast.
for this event annually, is that correct?
I can't say annually. This is a first. We'll see how it goes.
And I think the goal of establishing the VCF fund is to, whether the event works or not, to create a pathway where people can contribute into a fund to raise money for GRF.
So,
and the
so this first one
mutuals.
is kind of a test run, is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
We
well then-
generally don't throw events to raise money, so
Well,
it
then
is.
I have a motion to,
Wait a
yes?
second. Wait a second.
To
We
amend,
have a motion
to
on the,
amend this?
we have a motion on the floor, and we're still in discussion on
Yes,
main
and that
motion.
motion is the motion that I wish to amend.
Andy, one more question on main motion, and then we'll go to your amendment.
Okay.
Okay, Andy?
I support this event. I think it's a great idea. Anything that can celebrate the diversity of the community, bring people together, great idea. How we support it, that's, it has to be worked out, but we should support it.
Yeah.
Just want to point out, though, because it's a great idea, it'll occur again, and maybe in this one every year. And we need a policy to handle this, because I'm told the community bridge builders are having a unity event of sorts in November. I think it's November. And then I've heard a couple other groups are going to have unity events. So
It's good to have them, it shouldn't affect each other.
Yeah,
they should, well,
different
you know, that's easy to say,
constituencies.
but
Yeah.
we need to talk about it in a separate session about a consistent, fair way of support. We should support them all, believe me. We need a fair way to do that, and we'll be talking about it. This particular one I support completely. Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion on this, Ellen?
Listen, is this the first time we'll be allowing to take donations on our property, like at an event?
That I am aware of, yes.
That this is like an exception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There
Just
may
so
have been
everybody
more,
knows.
but that I'm not aware of, but.
Right, very cool. Okay. Marie, you have an amendment.
Yes. I move to remove the whereas, that sentence, which includes aim to lower overall assessment fee.
Is there a second to that amendment? Ellen?
There's a lot of whereas.
We had a second?
Which whereas?
Well, it's 1, 2, 3, it's the fourth whereas, and it includes aim to lower the overall assessment fee.
Yeah.
To just delete it?
The whole,
Delete
that whole
those words.
whereas, I moved
Delete
to
the whole
delete that
whereas.
whereas.
I second.
And
Okay,
Ellen seconded it.
got it. Discussion on this?
Now,
Okay. Shall we vote on the amendment first? Okay, all
well,
those.
we discussed the amendment. Is there, how did
We
people-
did, there was no further discussion.
Okay.
All those in favor? All right, anyone opposed? All right, that amendment carries, and now vote on the main motion. Those in favor?
I think he's bringing up the screen. No screen.
Okay. Okay, those in favor of the main motion to approve, okay. I see no one opposed, and, yeah, all right, okay. Steve has also voted, all right. The resolution carries, motion carries, thank you. At this point, we move on to committee reports, and we can take a 5-minute break, or, since we're all adults, if we need to leave the room, we'll leave the room as needed as the committee reports proceed. What's your pleasure, folks?
Madam
Yes.
President, I believe Egon added discussion of
Oh, yeah.
temperature control.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead. No, sorry,
just-
sorry.
No, just
Okay, order, please. Continue.
Andy needs to take a break.
Okay.
Okay.
This is not the finance report, this is Egon, go ahead.
Yeah, so this came up actually just yesterday, I think, when we were heatedly discussing how to pay for all the stuff or raise more money or save money or something, and something came up that I have said many times before, separately, just to individuals, not on the board, but this was brought up by another director. It turns out that many times we go to a clubhouse for, say, a club meeting or something, and the room is like a refrigerator. Well, just say it's very cold. In fact, I was at one within the last couple of months where the person I was with said, "This is too much, I want to leave." So the question came up, why are we spending money to make people uncomfortable? Okay? We have to have some kind of a policy that says, hey, we're not going to set the thermostat below 70 or 72 or some reasonable number. And there's nothing else that's going to be, we're not going to have a motion or anything like that today. We just want to discuss the idea. And in here right now it is 67 degrees, even though the thermostat has been disabled. So, yeah. So the whole point was not really to try to tell other people how to do this or that, but we're wasting money to make people uncomfortable. If that makes sense to anybody, please raise your hand, because I want to. Thank you, that's all I have to say.
Okay.
I'm
Other
very comfortable.
thoughts on this, Marie?
I'm very comfortable.
You're comfortable, okay. You dressed for it, okay. Question, I see Mr. Gomez here. The temperature setting in meeting rooms is up to the building manager, the meeting manager? How does that work? How much flexibility is there in setting that room temperature, for example, in here?
We encourage everyone to keep these settings at 70 degrees.
70 what?
70 degrees, but we don't have a way to lock the thermostats up. So we rely on, in the clubhouses, we rely on the clubhouse staff not to allow members or others to change the temperatures. But there's no way of keeping people from do that. So absent having a remote system where we could remotely lock everything, we're at the mercy of what people do. Here in the community center right now, we currently are experiencing a problem with one of the heaters, and so we're working to get that repaired. So right now, when people push the thermostat up because it says it's 67, it actually shuts down the system and kicks up the air conditioning. So we're preparing to send out an email to this building letting people know, don't touch the thermostats. We know that there's a problem. We're getting it fixed, but we don't have that ability at the clubhouses yet.
Okay, thank you. Martin?
Yeah, I've rented quite a few clubhouses in the past 8 months, and entering them, they're just like freezing, and it's like, we immediately start cranking things up. So whatever we can do to save some energy there, it's worth it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And right on cue, Andy is here to do the Finance Committee report. And we're going to move as quickly as we can through these committee reports because we have a very long afternoon ahead. Andy, you're up. Thank you.
Okay, Paul, we have the slides ready? Okay. Slide number 1. This first table includes all revenues and expenses for operating reserves and restricted funds. Through a reporting period of June 30th, 2025, 6 months, GRF had net revenue of $1.3 million, with total revenue of $26.7 million and total expense of $25.4 million. GRF in total was unfavorable to budget by $574,000, and that was caused by revenue being lower than budget by $1.1 million, and it was offset by expenses being under budget by $503,000. Let's move on to slide 2. This next table displays the operating fund activities, which excludes non-operating revenues, expenses, and depreciation. This report shows an unfavorable variance of $85,000 through the reporting period, with non-assessment revenue being under budget by $247,000, and it's offset by expense being under budget by $332,000. So the net of them is a favorable $85,000. Let's move on to slide 3. This slide shows our most significant operating fund variances by category, with green bars representing favorable variances and orange bars representing unfavorable variances. Let's look at the favorable. Employee comp and related was favorable at $544,000, primarily in general services and landscaping. There were various open positions in general services, primarily in fleet maintenance. Open positions remain throughout the organization, and we are trying very hard to recruit for these positions. It's an ongoing problem. Community events expense was favorable by $102,000, primarily due to a temporary pause in activity while the Performing Arts Center underwent a sound system installation in January. The closure limited event activity during that period, resulting in lower expenses. Other operating expenses were favorable by $91,000, primarily due to timing of staff support usage across various departments. Additionally, timing of planned staff training programs compared to the budget spread contributed to very favorable variance. They were lower than expected. Let's look at the other side of it, the orange bars. Broadband services revenue was unfavorable by $153,000, primarily due to revenue for set-top boxes being lower than anticipated as streaming becomes more popular in the community. Further, clients are allocating more money towards other digital platforms that provide advertising metrics. We brought this up again in the 26 budget. We're losing almost $500,000 from our regular revenue stream by going over to broadband. And we're working on it right now to find alternative sources of revenue. But we've been saying this for quite a while. People aren't buying the set-top boxes anymore because they're not going to be using them. So we have to offset that, and we're working on it. Outside services were unfavorable by $232,000, primarily due to expenses relating to associated costs with TV Guide and data services and TV operations department, and timing of payment for various TV-related subscriptions for software. Additionally, the unfavorable variance was attributed to IT-related subscriptions for software. So it's largely a timing thing, and hopefully it'll work, even itself out by year end. Cost allocations were unfavorable by $296,000 due to fleet maintenance allocating out less cost to GRF departments that utilize the services. As fleet maintenance runs a favorable variance in areas such as labor and fuel costs, it allocates less cost to other departments. It's kind of complicated, and we've been asking why, how can this happen? We do better than budget, and then it hurts us. So we're looking at a solution mathematically to that. Let's go on to slide 4. This slide shows sources of revenue other than the assessments, such as fees and rentals. Year to date, we earned $5.7 million in non-assessment operating fund revenue, and you can see that in the pie chart. We can see that our largest revenue category is broadband services, and that includes set-top boxes, ad-insertion, premium channels, followed by golf revenue, other revenue, which includes class fees, electric vehicle charging revenue, additional occupant fees, equestrian center fees, RV storage fees, and others. Clubhouse rentals and event fees and merchandise sales. These revenue categories offset costs and help keep assessments down. Let's move on to slide 5. Consistent with prior months, our largest operating fund expense is comp, followed by cable programming / franchise fees expense. Of the $22.8 million, excluding depreciation, which is not cash, these two categories account for 65% of the total operating expense, 2/3. Insurance, outside service, professional and legal, utilities and fuel, etc., make up the remainder. Let's move on to slide 6, which covers the reserves. The reserve and restricted funds adjusted balances are shown here. Starting with the first column on the left, reserve funds have a combined ending balance of $46 million. Restricted fund balances have an ending balance of $2.8 million. Included in these totals are contributions received in this current year through assessments, trust facilities fees, and investment income earnings. Second column shows the work in progress of $16.7 million for reserves and $0 for restricted, reflecting amounts paid for projects not yet completed. Third column represents resulting adjusted fund balances of $29.3 million for reserves and $2.8 million for restricted. As the broadband program is worked on, it's going to be eating away at the reserves. And ultimately, we're expecting reserve balances of at least $20 million, but a lot less than we have currently. But it's prudent. We've looked at it, and we feel comfortable with the lower balances. It's just that the numbers now are going to change. Let's move on to slide 7. This is a slide to show resale history from 2023 through the current year. Community-wide sales total 366 year-to-date. Most of these transactions generate the trust fund, a trust facilities fee, which is a transfer fee used as a source of revenue for our reserves. The current number for the fee is $7,500. There are plans to raise that to $10,000 next year. Slide 8. The listing on this slide gives you an idea where the reserve money is committed. Of the $29.7 million appropriated by the board already, the remaining encumbrances against our reserve funds is $14.9 million, primarily for fiber improvements and work at GRF facilities. Now here's the last slide, and that is we're comparing our adjusted fund balances to historical balances for the past 5 years. And it shows that GRF has averaged $30.5 million in reserve funds and $2.8 million in contingency funds. Again, because of broadband, those numbers are going down. We expect average balances to be north of $20 million next year, but not much north, but substantially reduced from the current year. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Andy, do you want to continue on with the Finance Committee? That's yours.
Oh, one thing I forgot, Ellison, I have to say, the committee met on June 18th, and we're going to meet again on August 20th in this boardroom at 9:30 in the morning. I'm sorry, at 1:30 in the afternoon, and we're going to hopefully cover the July year-to-date operating results. Thank you.
Okay. Ellen, Community Activities Committee report?
Community activities did not meet in July, but we will meet next Thursday, August 14th at 1:30 in the boardroom.
Okay, landscaping did not meet. We are not scheduled to meet again until November. This, because there is relatively little landscaping on GRF properties. It's just an occasional meeting, a quarterly meeting. And next we have Egon, Maintenance and Construction Committee.
Yeah, M&C did not meet in July. The next scheduled meeting is August 13. That's here next week on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Please come.
Gary, Energy did meet.
Yes, we did meet. It was a relatively short meeting because we had just been put on notice that we were being challenged, shall we say. However, we had a workshop last week that was well attended and seemed to be favorably received. And let's leave it at that.
Okay. Space planning, we have not met for a while, and we are planning a meeting for August 18th with the expectation that there will be a report from Cardoso Engineering on Building E that will be delivered at that time. We are extremely eager to see this report, which has been out there in the universe since the end of March. It is high time that we see this report so that we can move ahead with this project. So that continues. Broadband?
Yes, to make a correction here, the committee met at an open session on July 11th, and that unfortunately it was the same time that the Coyote meeting was going on at the PAC. So we got upstaged on that, but it was our first open meeting. But the CEO did present an update on the Ting project. But the committee, we know we are tasked with some big things that to move this thing along, and also to figure out like what it's going to take to like do some kind of revenue creativity in the coming years. And that's, we're going to have to find some rabbits and hats and things like that, but we're going to accept the challenge. And I encourage everybody to attend the October 8th meeting here in the boardroom. Thank you.
Gary, mobility and vehicles?
We last met in May, and we are scheduled to meet again tomorrow afternoon. And it will be a little interesting. We have voted at this point to not fund any new vehicles for next year. I think that we're going to be facing a couple of requests for, as a matter of fact, I'm expecting that tomorrow because, as I said yesterday, there's 13 mules sitting in front of maintenance, 3 of them with transmissions out, 2 of them with axles out. We're going to have to do something.
Understood, okay. Egon, security and community?
Steve.
Oh, Steve.
What's the status on the new mules?
The new mules.
I understand some have been purchased.
There was money that had been voted to get 2 mules. I know that's in progress. I don't think they've gotten here yet. As a matter of fact, Jose and I met, I think at the beginning of last week. And at that point in time, they were still ironing out. One of them they were looking at was a specialty Cushman for the golf course. And they were looking at another one. I'll find out tomorrow.
So they haven't been purchased yet?
I don't know. I know they haven't arrived for sure.
Okay.
I think commitment's been made, though.
I'm not sure. As of last week, they hadn't been
Find out
committed at that
tomorrow.
point.
Find out tomorrow. Okay, great. Security, community access, Egon?
Security Community Access did not meet in July. We will meet in August 27th, and we will have a lively discussion on gates at that meeting.
Undoubtedly. Okay, Ellen, traffic hearings.
Traffic hearings, there are still tickets being issued for failure to stop. That's the majority of the citations, so stop at the stop signs, everybody. The next meeting is August 20th, and it's a closed meeting, so don't show up unless you want a citation. Unless you want a citation. No, thank you. Okay.
Okay, executive hearings also is a closed meeting where we'll be together on August 14th for that. Martin, disaster prep, we've heard a lot about it today.
Yeah, we sure have. And just to add, we finally got the radio, amateur radio club to test those antennas that were installed. And sure enough, 4 out of 6 were bad. So we've solicited the radio technical services of our security department. They're going to meet us Monday out at Clubhouse 2 to see what the heck is going on to get then things repaired. We had that meeting, and we do have a meeting planned for September 30th here in the boardroom.
And move into IT.
And then ITAC, I had my great-grandbabies visiting, so we postponed the July meeting to be this August, August 29th. So we had to add family commitments that, unfortunately, but that's all we have.
Okay, we are at future agenda items. I see nothing listed, but there will be some things maybe that special subcommittee for disaster prep may be one that we come up with. Yeah. Okay. And at this time, director's comments around the horseshoe. Shall we start with you, Marie? Do you have anything? Manahar?
Marie, comments?
Marie, have any comments? Oh, just kidding.
Marie,
I guess.
any comments?
Any comments?
I'm sorry?
Any comments?
Great meeting as usual. Thank you so much.
Love it. Manahar? Okay. Yeah. Kush?
No comment, thank you.
I want to make one comment. The Space Planning Committee is more than Building 8.
Oh, much more.
But behind all of this, Building 8 or whatever, we have to find a proper home for our security department. We owe it to them. And for years, we've been screwing around, moving them around. And I hope eventually we'll get to it pretty quick find a proper home, find a plan to give our security people a proper home. That's all I have to say.
Ellen?
What if a resolution was passed last month and you object to it? Because we are at our 28-day, right? And so an objection, so a director can bring it up. And because I heard Georgiana, and this is the one about the music room. I object to it because we have so many drop-in facilities, and we're going to have to invest money. And this is the money that we're going to have to invest in this room. I don't see it being $25,000. It will be more like 50, maybe 75. I would like to see that just be a rentable space, period. Drop-in facilities become an expense, a shared expense to the entire community, even though you may not use that room. So I would like to take Georgiana's objection. I would like to object again, and I would like to see if I have any other directors, and I hope Brett Reinhardt is listening. I don't have Brad, I don't have Steve. If he's not listening, I mean, it doesn't matter, his name could be there and it won't matter. So, do I have, Marie, do you agree? I mean, I don't know.
Let's
what do
go
we
around
do?
member comments.
Yeah.
You know how to politic this
Okay.
subsequently. Okay, thank you, duly noted. Martin?
I don't agree.
Oh.
I love that we cultivate the music in the village, that people can drop in, but that's just my point. Anyways, great meeting.
Egon?
Yeah, I've got a couple comments. First of all, just to follow up, Ellen, I agree with that because what's come out is every time somebody just keeps changing this thing, we have no specific plan, not surprisingly, and we asked for money once again. And the president of the music club, when he spoke, said he didn't need anything. That's a good guy.
There you go.
The other thing is, I think one of the things that makes our meetings less effective and our discourses less effective is we often talk past each other. We say something and the person stands up and answers something else. One of the habits of highly effective people is to listen to what the other guy's saying. Let's communicate better. Let's think about that a little. Plenty of room for improvement there. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Okay, at this point, we will recess until noon, and we will then go into closed session. Thank you all.
Allison, can't we delay that?